Well, what I love about Cynthia is pretty easy to describe. Sin has taught me, I think, more than anyone I know, that love is a verb more than a noun. She demonstrates that to me every day by her actions and her deeds more than what she says. Although she never fails every day to tell me how much she loves me. She shows me in all of those little details that I think so many of us take for granted. Whether it's a touch, or whether it's cooking me a great meal, or whether it's joining me in a hobby that maybe she may not be necessarily as interested in as I might be. I think the most vivid example, though, has been something that we've been going through recently. My mother's very sick. She's in her 90s, and I think is probably in her final days. But sin has embraced her as if were her own mother. And it's touched me beyond all words. And so what do I love about Sin? Everything. She's a beautiful woman, both in her physicality and in her spirit. And I'm a very lucky man. I wanted a custom engagement ring because it became obvious to me when I went looking for rings that, first of all, I wasn't finding exactly what I was looking for. And believe me, I went to some very good jewelry stores. I went to Cartier, I went to Tiffany's, and all of the traditional suspect places. And yet, because I think a ring is supposed to be a symbol of one's personal expression and love, the idea of just buying something that was on the shelf and not a direct reflection of my own personal taste just never really appealed to me. A personal expression of my love for Sin is the ultimate dream for me. We actually met on Match.com, and what makes this kind of different and funny is that I had been on Match.com for perhaps 7 years and never went out on a single Match.com date, not one. Sin, on the other hand, had probably gone out on 100 Match.com dates. So, as she says, she had to kiss a lot of frogs along the way. I never went out on one, and there was something about her email to me that caused me to want to reach out to her. You know how on Match.com you put things that you're interested in, and I'm a gardener and have loved to garden my entire life. And I had said on there that one of my favorite things were blue flowers. And for some reason, of all the things on my Match.com page, she picked up on that and had remarked that it was also her favorite color flower. And I don't know why that struck me as significant, but it did. And so the rest is history. And so we met here in Virginia Beach. We went to the old restored Cavalier Hotel, which was originally built in the 1920s and recently restored. We had a quick drink. I had another engagement that night, so we had agreed that we would follow up the next evening for dinner, and I don't think we've been apart since. It's difficult to say when I first fell in love with Sin, because I think a little bit of me fell in love with her the very first moment I met her. Obviously, all relationships begin with some level of physical attraction, and there was certainly that. But more important than that, I really felt as though Sin was a kindred spirit with me. I know that's a cliche to say, but we share a lot of common interests. We both love gardening. We both love to travel. We both love to read. We both have grown children that we're interested in. And so all of those common experiences, I think, certainly serve to bring us together. But if I had to say, when was the first moment that I think I knew she was the one? We were probably just on a walk somewhere, and we both have a great love of being in the outdoors and nature, and suddenly a light bulb went on, and I said, to myself, I think I want to spend the rest of my life with this woman. What I'm most looking forward to in the future is obviously just continuing to get to know one another more and more every day. But it's just sharing the things that we love, just sharing life's experiences, watching our kids grow older, and maybe having some grandchildren at some point. That's what I'm interested in. Well, Sen, if you're looking at this video, then you've said yes, and you're doing me the honor of spending the rest of your life with me. And for that, I will be eternally grateful. I could not be more in love with you, sweetheart, and the opportunity to share the remainder of our life together means more to me than you know. I love you. You're the best.